Today, we're going to see about upgrading our refinery to an actual refinery. But first, let's talk about sorters. Your greetings and salutations, Relaxed Gamer Nation, and welcome back to Space Engineers Back to Basics with me, a Relaxed Gamer. Hello, how are you? I am great. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I hope you are back for some more craziness. So last time when we decided to set up our refineries, these basic refineries, we set up some sorters. But I've discovered recently in one of my, my solo survival series, that something has changed in the sorters since I last used them for that particular reason. And that is gas exchange. Over here we have a bunch of blocks, same lines here, etc. The only difference is that one sorter is going this way, and one sorter is going that way. There's no way to block gas from going through sorters. However, if you have a sorter reversed, the gas used to be able to pass through, but now it does not. So we're just gonna do a quick test here, and then we'll get on with the refinery shenanigans. So our quick test, I am in creative mode, as I usually am at the beginning of these sessions, because I need to do the spectator camera and stuff like that. So we are going to put in a bunch of ice. The oxygen generators are off right now. I'll just make sure, confirm. They are off. So there's no way they'll be turning the ice that we're going to put into these cargo containers into oxygen and hydrogen. It's very important to note that hydrogen does come from ice. I'm sure you already knew that, but hydrogen does come from ice, but ice also splits off into oxygen. As to these little caps that I put on here, those are just piston heads. They look pretty cool. So we are going to put some ice into these containers. I don't think we're going to put too much ice. Let's just put... yeah. Also to note, this is separated from the rest of the base. Okay, there we are. 10k ice. 10k ice. So, this sorter is pointing towards the oxygen generator, while this sorter is pointing away from the oxygen generator and pointing towards the places in which I want the fuel and oxygen and gas to go to. I've used a bunch of blocks from the DLC, the Heavy Industry DLC pack, including these fancy schmancy hydrogen tanks. I love them. They're just awesome. I use the column blocks here to put a wind turbine in, and I just put a battery down there. Just in case this takes more power than the battery can produce on its own. Actually, just in case, let's put another battery in here. Because each of these batteries put out up to 12 megawatts. Oh, hold on. Yeah. They output up to 12 megawatts of power. So that should be plenty, because the cargo container takes nothing. The oxygen tank takes about a kilowatt. O2 generator takes about 500 kilowatts apiece. Hydrogen tanks another 1 kilowatt. Sorters 250 watts. So we should be fine. And the wind turbine's producing 424 watts. So we got that. So it should be fine here. Now what we're going to do is I am going to place a big red button, just because I want to activate both these at the same time. And I'm going to place a timer. We have not gone into timers before, and we're not going to go into timers yet. Just saying. So the big red button is going to activate the timer, and the timer is going to activate the big red button. Activate the timer. Start. And then we need to access a control panel in order to get into the timer block. We'll do 5-second delay. Silent, doesn't really matter. And the only thing it's going to do is turn on our oxygen generators at the same time. There we go. I quickly set up a big red button to turn on 2 items at once. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. 5-second timer, a big red button. And we should see that light turn on in a moment. There it goes. Okay. So what we have done is, because we have these 2 tanks set up, the oxygen and hydrogen tank. If I am wrong, both sets of tanks are going to fill up. If I am right, and it was just a weird, and it wasn't a weird glitch, then only the right side should be filling up. Okay, that should be fine. Aha! We have a green bubble, which means that the gas is being transferred through this system, through the sorter that pushes the gas that way, into here. While over here, we're not getting anything yet. And that's because of that sorter. In fact, the left cargo container and the left oxygen generator are still at their maximum capacities. Or close to, anyway. But there has been no movement here. There's been movement on the right, but not on the left. Okay. So, sorters do block gas. It's unfortunate, but I guess that makes sense too. And it doesn't matter if it's the regular vanilla sorter or the DLC sorter. The right oxygen tank has 0.7%, and that's from that 10,000 ice that we put into it. Now, this has a lot of space available in it. In fact, it's so much space that it's got a exponential number to it. So it's like 1.5 million, I think. Liters? 1.5 plus 7. Or it might be more, I don't know. And the left hydrogen tank has nothing in it. The O2 tank, again. The right oxygen tank has 50% filled. The left oxygen tank has nothing filled. So the sorters are preventing that from going on. So that's just a little quick little thing about our sorters. So let's get on to everything else. Go away. No, I can actually search it up. Let's go here. 1,200 steel plates. Great. But this is going to take a while, so I'm going to put a cut in here until those materials are done. And we're back. Hello, welcome back. So, I was afraid I was going to run out of materials, so I went and picked up some more of those materials using our drill rover here. And I discovered something right off the bat. Well, not necessarily right off the bat, but pretty close. This thing has like no underbelly protection. Yeah. That's always wonderful when that happens. So I lost my cockpit. I had to fly back, grab more materials, etc. All that fun stuff. And get this thing hooked up. So we have materials. I'm not sure if our refinery is ready for production. Yay! First we're going to move this thing out of the way. Actually, we'll just park it up on the platform here. Oh, nope, wrong way. I should probably have some sort of parking hookup for it. Oh, and the lights on the drill lights have to be turned off. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care right at this moment. So, we have these 4 basic refineries, which are great when it comes to converting basic ores into basic ingots. Cool. The only problem these things do have is that they are horrible on converting stone. So we still got to rely on our survival kit if we want to produce stone. However, the refinery does not have that problem. At least as far as I recall, because I have tested in the past, but it might have changed. So we will see, I guess. How are we going to do that? Maybe I'll set up a little test platform and we can just check it out. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, so we quickly set up this test using our refineries. We have a basic refinery here. We have a full-size refinery here from the DLC pack. And we have our survival kit here. All of these have 10,000 stone in each one of these guard containers, as you can see. And the only difference between all of these is that the survival kit has to produce the ingots. So I have 10,000 ingots worth of, well, 10,000 ingots set up to produce. And we're going to see how things go here with that. I'm probably going to have to do a quick little cut here, but first, we also have our big red button set up to activate that timer back there, which is going to turn all of these on in 5 seconds. The other thing that I've added to this little platform is 2 wind towers, 2 small reactors, and 4 batteries. So just because the refinery can be a pig when it comes to power. So let's do a quick launch here. Big red button is pressed. That should turn green in a moment. And boom. So now these are producing they're turning the stone into ingots. Other than speed, the basic refinery, the refinery is supposed to be faster and produce 100%, produce the same amount of ingots as the survival kit would produce. So we're going to let this run for a bit here. In fact, this might actually be done. Inventory. Yeah, this is already done. Basic refinery is slower than the survival kit as well. Oh no, there it goes. Okay, so this is going to take a couple of moments here, and I will bring you back for the results. Okay, so the results are in. I put up some little panels here, I've filled them out, and we're just going to see what the results are. So, for our control test, we're looking at the survival kit. The survival kit had 10,000 ingots, and it turned them into, 10,000 stone, and turned it into ingots. So let's see what the results are. Oop. Oh, we got 140 gravel, 300 nickel, iron, 24 nickel, and 20 and 40 silicon. Okay, cool. Now let's check the refinery, the basic refinery. As we learned previously, it's about 30% less efficient. So it gives us 70% of the materials from the amount of gravel that we put in. So let's check it out. Gravel, here we go. 98, 210, 16.8, and 28. That is about 30%, I believe. I can open up my calculator quickly just to double check. Let's see, that's 98, 40 times 100. So we are looking at 70% efficiency, as we expected. So, finally, our refinery here. Cargo container, offline, etc. Let us check out the results. And I will prove it by looking into the containers. So we are 140, 324, and 40. 140, 324, and 40. So the refinery is the same efficiency with 0 modules as the survival kit. We can increase that efficiency on here by putting on some efficiency kits. But I don't think we're going to do that right now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a cut in here. Give me a moment. Okay, here we go. So I added a few things to our little control panel here. So our control... so this is our survival kit. This is the basic stuff that we're going to be using for our... size... for calculating things. So I'm setting the survival kit at 100% power cost because this is our basic stuff for basic materials. And it does about 200 kilowatts, 140 gravel, 300 nickel, so 300 iron, 24 nickel, 40 silicon. So when we upgrade to our basic refinery, we're now using 165% of the power cost of the survival kit, or 30% less efficiency. So these are 70% more efficient, well, 70% efficiency compared to the survival kit for 165% extra power. This is just for gravel. This is not for the basic materials. This is just gravel. Next, we have our full-size refinery. It's using 280% power compared to our survival kit, and it does 560 kilowatts. It produces the same amount of materials as the survival kit, faster, and at the cost of extra power. Over here, we did a little bit different. This is all the efficiency modules. Now, originally, I thought the efficiency modules would be costing extra power, but they don't, which I find is kind of strange. So, we're looking at our... This is with 4 efficiency modules, which are 20 superconductors. That's the only thing you're going to require gold for. In order to refine gold, you need a basic refinery. So this is a good thing if you want lots of materials of a particular type. Putting on these yield modules. They used to be called efficiency modules, but they're yield modules. So there's 4 of them on there. They're not costing any extra power. They just cost 20 superconductors each. What the? Superstorm. 20 superconductors each. And that's pretty much what's going to take you time to do, because the basic refiner doesn't refine gold that fast or that efficient. So 20 superconductors each, so we're looking at 80 superconductors for all 4, which is a lot of gold, actually. We're not going to look into that right now, but with 4 efficiency modules, we do 200% extra in all the materials that we gain from gravel. It's okay. Iron basic ingots are going to give us a lot more. Basic ores, rather. But we're looking at 280, 600, 48, 80, and about 280% power cost over the survival kit. Whew! Wow, okay. So, we have our materials for our basic refinery, and you know what? I am going to quickly build that. I am not entirely sure where I'm going to build it. And I should probably turn off creative mode. Gravel is useful when it comes to building reactors. Until you actually get to the point of building reactors and powering the reactors, it's pointless to make those. There are other things that you can use gravel for, but they're all modded stuff. So we're just gonna pop down some more of these bad boys. Okay, the refinery takes up a lot of space as well. So what we're going to do is, it only requires modules on the back. So we're going to put down some refinery bits here. Some steel plates. And I am going to use a fancy schmancy refinery here. I'm going to put it back here. Because once I get this hooked up, I'll be tearing down all of those, and I will probably be removing this. I'll be removing the sorters as well. But first, we got to get this refinery done. This refinery takes up a lot of steel plates. It takes up 1,200 total steel plates.
Energy low.
Wish I had a faster welding tool. There we go. So we have our first refinery. Now this is about twice as fast as the basic refineries. And we might actually put multiple refineries next to it. But that's something for the future, for sure. But now that we have this refinery, let us hook up some tubes. From this section to there.
Fuel critical.
Close. Tubes.
Energy critical.
And drain. Yep. Yeah, this is starting up. Excellent. And once we tear down these refineries, or at least...
No energy.
Ow, ow. What? Uh-oh. Because it's Inferno, that's why. There's two different types of storms on the Earth-like planet. There's freezing and Inferno. This... Because what's going on is that this sorter is still pulling all our ingots out, which is good, because the refinery is producing ingots out of stone, so the stone's coming in, going out, and going into our system. I am going to have to build some cargo containers. I'm pretty sure that is on the docket here. I don't want to go much further this way. I love these pipes. They're so awesome. The basic refinery, the industrial refinery looks pretty cool too. Again, I'll be putting another refinery right next to it. Eventually, just not yet. I don't have a glut of materials to do that. That's this, that's that. Okay. So, we did a bit more than just build a refinery. We went through a little bit of testing process, but we did get our refinery built, and that's going to make another thing checked off our list. Which means the next thing that we're going to build is probably an aircraft for scouting and maybe mining. Because we already did the mine for H2, but that's going to be a constant thing. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it's a little bit, it wasn't all about the refinery, but it kind of was about the refinery. We kind of did tests over there. So I hope this episode was informative and helpful. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Ciao.